All right, Coach, we got 3 conference weekends in the books. Let's rewind, talk about FIU over the weekend and Wake Forest last night.
We got Rice and FAU, and then at FIU the first 3 weekends. And we're talking to the Wake guys last night, and they had a similar deal with their first 2 weekends in ACC play, and then this weekend, they're playing a lot of the better teams in their league as well. Same with us. And Wake's got a good club.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen some really good teams so far. We've been competitive in just about every Conference USA game outside of a couple that have kind of gotten away from us. But it doesn't get any easier. And again, like we've talked a million times, we play a very aggressive non-conference schedule. And last night's game at Wake was another game that we put ourselves in position to be successful. And we just haven't quite gotten over the hump yet. Some of it's youth, some of it's inexperience, some of it's we need to do a better job of coaching and developing the guys we do have in the program. Some of it's we need some guys to start playing a little bit higher level. Some of it's we need to start competing a little bit better in certain situations. So there's it's kind of a multifaceted deal, and we need the practice time, we need the game time, and we need to do everything we can every day to get better as a team, as a program.
We're about a month in, 20 games in now. How would you assess the first month for, let's start with the pitching staff?
Yeah, it's early in the season, it was really, really good, and we talked about it.
Right.
It was a lot more pitcher-friendly with the way the weather was and the elements, and that's something that we try not to acknowledge because you can't control it,
Right.
but it affects the game. When it's cooler or cold and the wind's blowing in, you have more margin for error. And as the weather warms up and as the ball starts jumping a little bit more, and as the offensive players catch up to the pitching, then it's been a little bit more of a struggle here lately. But again, we've got guys that we have confidence in. It's just a matter of trying to develop a broader base from a pitching standpoint, and we've got to play defense too. It really goes hand in hand. Our defense and pitching really are one and the same. We've shown flashes of being a really good defensive team, and then we've had games or innings where we just don't play at the level that we need to play at to win games against really good teams.
How about the hitting through 20 games?
It's gotten better. Again, it's a good plan. Brandon does a good job with our pitching staff on the front end. I can provide input from a pitching perspective when needed, but we're on the same page. Brandon and I are on the same page 99% of the time. Same from a hitting standpoint. This is Bo's first full-time year, and he's got a lot of great experience. He's got tremendous knowledge. And again, another guy that I have a lot of confidence in, and 99% of the time we're on the same page, and I can provide some input whenever necessary. But again, it's just about broadening our base and having more options so I can, and we can manage the job, manage the games and practices to the best of our ability.
Every week is fun during the baseball season, but this weekend, next week, especially Louisiana Tech's coming into town. We get a chance to play on national TV Saturday. Talk about Louisiana Tech, who's gotten better this year.
Yeah, they've gotten better. They had a change in their coaching staff, and they've gotten better, and they're going to continue to get better because they're really getting out and recruiting. They're doing a good job, it looks like, with their player development, and that's the lifeblood. You got to have a decent recruiting pipeline. You got to do a good job developing the guys that you have in your program. So we're excited to get a chance to play. We're excited to get a chance to play a game at home on national TV. It's a chance for us not only to promote our baseball program, but to promote our athletic department and to promote UNC Charlotte. There's a lot of people that don't know how positive a situation it is here, even just for kids that just go to school here now. It's something that we're really looking forward to.
And then next Tuesday, the big game uptown against NC State, a rematch with them, beat them earlier in the year, and play in probably what will be the biggest crowd that we'll have all season.
Well, we got their attention, I think. So they got a really good club. Coach Avent does a good job there. They've got a really good team. Talked to Scotty Brown, the GM of the Knights, earlier this morning, and there's 4,400 somewhere in that range tickets that have already been sold, and if we're lucky enough to get a really good weather night that night, I think we're easily going to have over 5,000 people there, and I think the place seats a little over 8,000. So it's going to be a great atmosphere. The first ever college game. We've talked about it forever, and we need we need it to be green. I know NC State's got a tremendous following with the Wolfpack Club and all the things that they got going on in the tradition of their program. But we need to make sure that people show up and they wear green. They really support our players and our program.
Last question that was suggested to me by someone else.
Oh, no.
Basketball related. Wichita State's in the Sweet 16. Beat Kansas last week.
I'm excited about our basketball situation here in Charlotte, to be honest with you. I mean, we've got a situation with a great facility with Hall Arena and so many positive things with our basketball situation here. And I'm a huge fan, always have been, and really excited that if everything works out the way it looks like it's going to work out, that we can continue to move that program forward, as well as all of our programs here. We've always been team players. That's the way we're going to be. We want everybody to be successful. I'm proud of the fact that I graduated from Wichita State, proud of the fact that I was a student athlete there, happy for them when they win. But they may only have one more game the way it looks, because they're staring at Kentucky, at Kentucky maybe in the next round if they can get by Notre Dame. But I know I've talked to a lot of people in Wichita over the last week or so, and they were excited when the bracket came out because they could see that matchup with Kansas in the second round game. My brother called me. My brother lives in Kansas City. He called me and he watched the game. He said it was really kind of a beatdown by Wichita State there in the second half. So we're trying to win baseball games, but when I can't sleep at night, I usually flip on ESPN and kind of catch up on some of the other things going on, because I think that you can learn from those situations. Again, I'm getting long-winded, but you can learn how Wichita State's developed that basketball program and how they play with the toughness and intensity that's really kind of rare nowadays. And I try to learn from that. We try to kind of maybe instill some of that in our own players from a baseball standpoint.